Yes, if I can just add to that in what Darren said earlier. In one of the SACWA regulations, it specifies that the method of delivery is not as important as achieving the outcome, which has always told me, and that is what you mentioned, I work in the ETDP space, so I train assessors, moderators, designers. What I've always tried to teach them is that although the training is important, although it's important getting the message across, doing the transfer of knowledge, the crucial part is making sure that they actually learn something. And that's where the assessment comes in. So with all the e-learning platforms, the LXPs, or the terminology that's out there, it's all focused on the delivery. P4P is the only platform that I'm aware of that solely focuses on the actual evaluation and the assessment to make sure, did the learning actually take place? But the beauty of it is that, as you mentioned, Tanya, you don't have files and rooms full of files. I mean, I've had experiences over the past 17 years where I go do exit moderation at a provider, and they've done learnerships on about 200-300 learners, or they've batched a lot together. Yeah, it looks like a storage facility when you get there, and you've got to try and pull these files and then look for the files, and then this is in there. And I've done verifications on providers where the assessor thought that the best option is stuff everything into the file and let the moderator decide what's important and what's not important. And you have these files full of unnecessary stuff. The one provider where for a level 2 qualification, I got 2 of those typec boxes with a paper full, including leave applications, everything. So what's nice about P4P, and what I've realized as well, and that's for me the pilot, is that I was also unaware of exactly how the process works. So once we started diving into the process, I realized that I need to now, for the next round, go forward and redesign my assessments, because I don't need all that unnecessary paper and all that unnecessary stuff where I had to prove to the SETA that it was original handwritings and authenticity. I can now do it a lot easier. And also, as Darren said, we can now move away from just simply testing the knowledge and focusing so much on the knowledge, and actually going to, can you actually demonstrate it? Can you make a cup of coffee? Fine, the 10 steps to making a cup of coffee, but show me how you make a cup of coffee. And I think that's the important thing. And for me, it's still a learning process. Unfortunately, Darren, I'm one of those people that I want to know how things work, so I'm going to ask you every 5 minutes until I understand. But as well as also for me, it was not just from a provider perspective, it was a dual approach. So I was looking at it from a provider, how it works for me as a provider, but I was also looking at, would this fit into the quality assurance mechanisms of the SETA, and would there be a chance of the SETA approving it? That was sort of my biggest approach.